Do you sell products where you allow your customer to choose from different text colors? If so, HelloCustom can now fully automate this for you using our brand new color collection right here. So in this tutorial, we're gonna go through how to create a color collection, how to apply that to your design, and 2 different ways that we can automate this personalization for your customers. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So in this tutorial, we're gonna be using the following design where I want to allow my customer to change the color of the text for the name and the date to maybe match the green, the pink, the orange, or the yellow from the nurse text above. All right, so I just jumped back into our HelloCustom account, and to create a color collection, we're gonna go to our collections tab right here, where this is where we're gonna display all of your collections, organized by image, color, and font. To create a new collection, go to the top right and click on to create a collection, where from here we can choose if we want to create an image collection or a color collection or a font collection. In this case, we're creating a color collection right here, where to create a color collection, all you have to do is give the collection a name and start adding your colors to the collection. So for this example, I'm going to title this as retro. These are going to be our retro colors, and click on to add color. From here, you can give the color a name and paste in your hex code right here. So for example, green, and then paste in our green hex code right here. Click on to add, where it will then add the green to our color collection right here. It will automatically create the thumbnail of the green right here, title it accordingly, and this is the color code for that green. Next, I'm gonna click on to add color. I'm going to title this one as the pink, and then paste in our pink hex code right here, and click on to add. Again, it's gonna add it to our color collection right below our green. Click on to add color. I'm gonna title this one as orange, paste in our orange code right here, and click on to add. Next, I'm gonna do the yellow, and then paste in our hex code right here, click on to add, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that brown color right here. You are able to search our colors right here, change it right here, but I find that it's easier to just paste in the hex code right here and click on to add. We now have our 5 retro colors instead of our retro color collection, where you're able to rearrange the order if you want by dragging and dropping the elements right here. You're also able to edit the element if you want to click onto the pencil icon right here, where it'll take you back into this color if you want to change the hex code or change the name. Click on to update. It will then make the change to that element within this collection. Once the collection looks good to go, all you have to do is click on to create, and then HelloCustom will automatically create this collection for you. It will be underneath your collections tab right here, underneath the color filter right here, where we show the name of the collection, all of the collection elements, the number of assets, and a couple actions that you can do. In this case, we can edit the collection, which will take you back to that previous step if you want to rearrange or retitle or add or remove any colors. You're also able to make a copy and or delete your collection from right here. So once we create our color collection, we can now apply this to one of our designs. We can do that by clicking onto our Designs tab right here, where from here we are able to upload our designs into HelloCustom for HelloCustom to automate the personalization. To add your design into HelloCustom, go to the top right and click on to Upload Design. And because I create my designs on Canva, I am going to be leveraging our brand new direct Canva integration, where if I click on to upload from Canva, it is going to pull in all of my Canva designs directly into my HelloCustom account, organized from most recent to oldest. And I can also search for my designs right here. I mean, check this out. It does not get easier than this, where all I have to do is click onto my design, if I want it to come in with a transparent background, yes or no, and what page I want to import. Click on to upload from Canva. And just like that, HelloCustom was able to grab our Canva design, pull it into our HelloCustom account, fully editable as if we created this design in HelloCustom to begin with. So to set up your design inside of HelloCustom, there's only 3 things that you have to do. First, give the design a title. Next, tell HelloCustom what in the design needs to be personalized. And lastly, what product this design belongs to. That way, when that product sells, HelloCustom knows what design to grab, what in the design to personalize, and what product to fulfill upon your approval. So I'm gonna go ahead and title this design as Nurse Shirt. Next, I'm just gonna tell HelloCustom what in this design needs to be personalized. In this case, we have a name text element right here, a date text element right here. And again, we wanted to apply a color collection to both of these text elements right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on to the Sarah Smith, and I'm gonna tag this as name. where I'm then going to get a pop-up where I can choose the type of customization that I want to do for this text element. The types are text input, font collection, and color collection. The first one that I want to do is going to be a text input. This is going to be for the name. I can then determine if I want it to be required or have a character limit. This is more for the Etsy Live preview or for the Shopify integration. I can now go ahead and click on to save. Next, I'm going to click on to the date element right here. And I'm going to tag this as date. Again, this is just me telling the AI what I want to be personalized. For the type, this is also going to be a text input. I'm not going to make it required or put a character limit onto it. Click on to save. So now we can go ahead and add our color collection to these text elements. I'm going to click on to the name element one more time, and I'm going to add one more tag to this, and I might tag this one as color. So now when I get this pop-up for the text customization, if I click onto the type, all that is left is going to be for a font collection or a color collection because we already have a text input applied to this text element. In this case, we're going to click on to color collection. And again, HelloCustom will walk you through the very next steps. We try to make this as easy as possible for you, where you can determine if you want it to be required, yes or no. And then you're able to select your collection from this drop-down menu right here. In this case, we just have the one color collection. If you click onto it, it will then apply that collection to this text element and click on to save. And as you can see on the back end, as we were tagging everything for personalization, HelloCustom was building out these variable input fields. These are for our Etsy Live preview as well as for our Shopify integration. This is going to be our name input, our date input, and that color collection right here. Because the label right here is color, which is tagged to this text input, if I also tag the date, the 2025, as the same color, let me go ahead and tag this as color, you can see that we're not getting that pop-up. That way, this one input is applied to both of these text elements right here. That way, if a customer clicks onto orange, it'll change the name and the date as orange. So super simple, super powerful. That is how you apply a color collection to your text elements inside of your design. Once everything looks good, all that is left to do is tell HelloCustom what product this design belongs to. And we'll do that by clicking onto products, where HelloCustom will then pull in all of your products from your store, organized by active, inactive, and draft. In this case, it is going to be our nurse shirt right here, where it will then show all of the variations for this design. In some cases, maybe you have a light design that goes onto a dark shirt and a dark design that goes onto a light shirt, where you can select and deselect your variations that when these sell, don't use this design, but when these sell, yes, use this design. But in this example, I'm going to go ahead and leave them all selected and click on to update. I can now go ahead and save our design. And just like that, your design is now saved and created. So the very next time that that product sells, HelloCustom will be able to fully automate the personalization for you. So now that we've created our collection, we apply that to the design. I'm now going to go ahead and show you the two different ways that your customers can personalize their product. So the first way is leveraging the text personalization box here on Etsy, where the customers are able to enter in their personalization instructions. So HelloCustom can now fully automate collections, image collections, color collections, font collections, as well as text personalization. So if your customer types in Steven 2026 orange, HelloCustom is going to know that orange is a color, a part of a color collection that is tagged to these two text elements to make the text orange and then change it to Steven 2026. If you typed in brown Sarah 2023, again, brown was one of the elements in the collection tied to this design. It'll change it to brown Sarah 2023. So HelloCustom can now fully automate collections, again, image, color, and font from the personalization that the customers type in here directly on Etsy. So the second way that we can automate the personalization is leveraging our brand new Etsy Live preview feature. All right, so I just jumped back into our HelloCustom account, and if I go over to the tab called Live Preview, if you are on the business plan, you are able to create a live preview for both Etsy as well as for Shopify. So we're gonna be creating our Etsy Live Preview. To do that, go ahead and click on to Create a Live Preview right here. And this is where you are able to upload the blank mockup of your product. You're able to do any mockup for any design for any product. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload that right here, where this is gonna be the mockup that I'm gonna use for our nurse shirt. So to create your live preview, there's only two things that you have to do. One, give the live preview a title. Next, add your design on top of the mockup, and that's it. So for the title, I'm gonna go ahead and title this as nurse shirt To add your design on top of the mockup, click on to designs in the top right, where this is going to pull in all of your HelloCustom designs right here. You can also search for it right here. Currently, I just have the one design. If I click onto it, it will then add this on top of our mockup, where all you have to do is position the design so it looks realistic. So you can move it, you can adjust it, you can crop it, but position the design on how it looks like on your actual product. And as your customer enters in their personalization, we're going to personalize this design against your mockup. That way the customers can see a realistic view of exactly what their product is going to look like before they order it. So right here looks good for this product. I can now go ahead and click on to save. And just like that, our live preview is now created, where I can now go over to the live preview, click onto the three dots, click onto live preview link, sign into our Etsy account, click on our listing for this product, scroll down to the personalization instructions for this product, and this is where the magic happens. You're able to paste in that link right here. And then you are able to add in your personalization instructions. For example, enter in your personalization below, or to see a live preview, go to, and then our link right here. Now when the customer comes to your product page, they know that they can either enter in their personalization below, so they can type in Orange Steven 2026, or to see a live preview, they can go to this link right here, where we will then take them to your Etsy live preview page right here. I mean, check this out. This is way better than that text box over on Etsy. And this is going to be a non-HelloCustom branded page, meaning we're going to put your Etsy logo right here, your seller name right here. This is the title of your listing right here. This is your seller name, all of your personalization input fields from your design, and your live preview that you set up right here for your customer to have a much better buying experience for your design. Again, as they enter in their personalization, we are going to personalize that design for that live preview. So for example, if the name is Steven, as you can see, it changed the name to Steven in real time right here. For the date, let's do 2026. As you can see, it changed the date to 2026. And again, if we want the color to be orange, it will change both text elements to that orange color, or if I want it to be green, it'll be green. So because green is my favorite color, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as green. When done, they can click on to done. They will then get a pop-up that says, copy and paste the reference number below in the personalization box over on Etsy. So now they can go ahead and click onto the copy, click onto the back to Etsy button right here, where we will then redirect them back over to this product over on Etsy for them to paste in that reference number right here. And we already have that graphic personalized and ready to go for when this order comes in. So I went over how to create your color collection, how to apply that to your design, and 2 different ways that your customers can personalize your color collection designs. That's gonna be it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, please reach out to support@hellocustom.io.